Hello and welcome to my next presentation on Chinese characters. This one will be about the Chinese character hai. Hai. And when this character is pronounced hai in the second tone, it means still or even. In situations like 我还没去, it means that I haven't gone there yet. So it can mean still or yet, depending on how you use it. And also there's also the pronunciation Huan in the second tone, which either means to go back or to return something to someone. And it is this pronunciation that will help you sort of understand why this character is written the way it is. It is also the meaning of this pronunciation that will help you understand why the elements for this character were chosen the way they were. And this is a traditional version of the character, and the simplified version looks like this. And so as you can see, this whole element over here has been basically simplified into this. And so basically this character is divided into two parts. The first part is this element over here. And now this is the best time, if any, to explain as why I always say element instead of a radical. The reason for this is that when characters were first basically described in, I think the dictionary was called 说文解字, 214, I think, radicals were introduced. And the reason for that was that those radicals were either acting as phonetic components, so they were pointing to the pronunciation, or they were acting as the semantic components, which means that they were pointing to the meaning of the character. And at that time, this premise, I think, held very true, because most of the characters, most of them were really working that way. So there was usually a phonetic element that was pointing to the pronunciation of the character as a whole, and usually very precisely. And there was a semantic element which was pointing to the meaning of the character as a whole, and also usually very precisely. But as characters were evolving, sometimes a whole character was chosen as a phonetic element in a different character, and so you can't call this a radical anymore. For instance, this element over here, you can't call it a radical because it is not a radical. If you go and look into the radical list, you will not find this element over there. You will not find this radical, but it still acts as a phonetic element. So that's why I prefer calling even this one, even though this here is a perfect radical, I still prefer calling it an element just as this one, because I think it's more right now in this period of time, it is, I think, a little bit more accurate to call these elements, these sections of the character, this way. Well, enough said about that. This yellow element of the character is pronounced Huan. And as you can see, it points to the pronunciation of the character in this case. And the second element of this character, let me change the color, is this one. And it is pronounced chuo. And it means to go. And as I said, huan, one of the meanings of the word huan, except for the meaning that you're giving something back to someone, it also means to go back. So this is, when the character was created, it was created for this exact meaning. So let me show you how to write this character. So start with this red element over here, and the top section of it, then this horizontal stroke, then this small mouth, and then this bottom part, and you finish with this one. This is one stroke, this is one stroke, and this is one stroke as well. So one more time. So again, maybe contrary to what you might think, you're not first starting with this element over here, but you're starting with this one. And as I said, this element is one entire thing. So first you have to start it, finish it, and then you can continue to this one. All right. The simplified character is very simple. You first, and it's basically the logic is the same. You first have to start and finish this element over here. So you start, and then you continue to the left element. And that's basically it. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I will see you in the next video.